Peace ignite you. So we are here again in the car. This week, this week's edition is with my buddy Kern Dillard. We're pulling out of the casino right now. So we're going to go for a little drive. Last week we had one of my faves, Angie Witten. Week before that, another one of my faves, Gil Quante. And we're continuing on this third week with another one of my favorites, Kern the Man Dillard. So here's how it works, is that I ask him questions, he has to answer them. We're not working off any script, so I don't know what I'm going to ask him, which means he doesn't know what the answers are. So we're just going to have a conversation and drive around Lakewood here. But Kern's had quite an amazing success story over the last few years, so I want to put him in the car so you could listen to this story. So, ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Kern Dillard, Kern's Complete Automotive.
Yeah. Hey, how we doing today?
Wow, you're a man of many words.
Yeah, that's enough. That's enough. I'm done.
So, so let's start with, hey, Doug Hudak. So let's start with, how did we meet? How long ago did we meet? What was the circumstances?
Well, I was looking for a Facebook class because I saw some business potential in using Facebook, and I started asking around the chamber for somebody teaching how to use a business Facebook for business.
And how many years ago was that?
What was that? 2009, 10.
Yeah. So
when were you doing those classes?
8 or 9 years ago. You were on it.
So that's when I found out about this guy doing Facebook classes and met him at one of his classes at a real estate office.
So that's where we met? Was you came to one of our Facebook classes?
That's where we met. I had met your wife before then at a B&I class, or a B&I.
She was a guest, right?
She was a guest, kind of coming in. I'm not she was selling the Kieran's List that you had at that time. So, which
was the precursor to all this. It was a whole different thing. Sometime remind me to tell you guys a story on how Sherry and I got started. It's pretty crazy. But what Kern is talking about is, gosh, I don't know, 8, 9, 10 years ago, somewhere in there, we decided to start a Facebook class. We called it Extreme Networking 101. Yeah. It was to learn how to use Facebook to promote your business. How that got started, this is crazy. We were sitting down for lunch with one of our clients one day, and the lady said, I sure wish I knew how to use Facebook to promote my business. And my ears perked up, and I said, really? So how much would you pay for like a 4-hour seminar where you brought in your laptop and maybe there was 20 people or so and someone walked you through how to set it up and then ideas on how to promote your business? And she said, well, I'd pay $99. When's the first one? And I said, I don't know, I got to figure that part out, because at that point, Big Daddy didn't have Facebook. I knew nothing about it. Sherry did. I thought it was the dumbest thing in the world. But I heard somebody tell me that they would pay me or pay somebody to show them how to use it. So we developed a Facebook class, and we went crazy with that thing. We did. We taught this class over 3 years. We had about 1,800 people come through this class in groups of like about 20 was our average size. Kern was in one of them. And we actually did it on webinars too. So we had people from Australia. We had people from 25 states and 3 different countries, and how they even found out about it, I have no clue. But we had Australia, someplace in the Middle East, I think, and I don't know where else.
But that's how I connected with you.
Yeah.
Just through that class.
Yeah.
So got the class and learned about the coffee club.
Yep, which was our networking group at that point.
And
the free group.
The free group, and got to meet a lot of folks at the coffee club, watched it grow, watched it kind of ebb and flow with the group, and got a lot of contacts. I still do business with a lot of folks that I met through that group. Had somebody call last week. I hadn't heard from him in years. He's with another company now and wanted to bring a fleet of vehicles to us. So,
and he's someone you met from the coffee club?
From the coffee club.
Who's that?
Willoughby. Patrick Willoughby.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Who's he with now?
With Sentinel Pest Control.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
You gotta.
I've invited him to Ignite You. He'll be there before long. You just watch.
Yeah, we gotta get him in. I haven't seen Patrick forever. That's so funny.
Good guy. Good. But
hi, Angie.
For
guy.
years, he's been. I haven't seen him in all of a sudden he shows up and says, "I thought of you."
Wow.
So that's the power of connections that we make in these groups.
I love that story, man.
Pretty cool. So,
I love that story. I love that story. I love that story. And I see their red trucks all over the place. And I always think, we got to get them in Ignite You. Gosh darn it.
Right.
Next question. I had a message pop up there that I was reading. I was like, what's it? That was Jake Wiedenbach. So we met doing the Facebook class, and then you started coming to our coffee club, and then we evolved into Ignite You. So the old coffee club was a free group,
right.
But we evolved into the membership group about 5 years ago, 4 or 5 years ago. We've been at the same place. We've been at the Great American Casino. So tell me, you track your numbers, and I think you started tracking them even more so in the last few years. But you gave me some numbers of what the business that you generated through Ignite You in 2015, and what was that number?
$6,000 or $7,000.
No, that one was like 3,500. How come I remember your numbers better than you do?
You remember the numbers. I write them down.
So 2015 was around 3,500.
Yeah.
And then 2016 jumped up to
about 20 grand.
20 grand, and 2017 jumped up to
about 37. So things are moving in the right direction. We like it. And so figure this guy's a pretty decent investment.
And so if you add those up, so the title of this one was Kern Dillard, the $62,000 man. So if you add all those up, it comes out to a little over $62,000 that he's generated in the last 3 years. So what have you seen? What have you done differently where it increased like that so much? Because obviously you were doing a little bit of something right a few years ago, and then you started doing a lot of something more right, and then this last year was you did a heck of a lot of stuff right in your networking. What changed?
The biggest thing is showing up, and I think Gil talked about that, Angie talked about that, and now I am saying show up, but showing up on Tuesdays and Fridays, deciding that's a priority and I'm going to get there. Always come with something to give, and come with an agenda is the way I put it, but sometimes that gets taken wrong. But my agenda is, one, have something to give, have something to take away, something that I'm looking for, and be able to connect with somebody that I don't know. So I got 3 things that I'm going to do when I get there.
So run over those 3 things again.
So I come with looking for somebody that I can pour into. I can give something to somebody.
So give me an example of how that might look.
That might look like I see somebody presenting something that, hey, if you changed a couple words in your presentation, it would come across better. Or I have a free oil change to give today, or just any number of things. But I've got a lot of value to bring to the group. So if I don't show up, they're going to miss out on me.
Nice.
Hey, there's Classy Chassis.
We're actually going to pull into Classy Chassis.
Sweet.
Funny. So
sweet. I like these guys.
So this segment of the show is brought to you by Classy Chassis. So we're going to go through their car wash. These
awesome.
Classy Chassis is actually a member here with Ignite You. And so they have this awesome. I hope they're open. They got to be open. So there's going to be someone right out here. So by the way, we're here at Classy Chassis. We're getting ready to drive through. I have this awesome unlimited program. Well, they have this awesome unlimited program. And I pay like $39 a month, and you can go through as many times. So I could literally drive through, then drive back around. But the more often you come through, so every time we're in Lakewood, so every Tuesday, every Friday, if we're here for boot camp, whenever, I always come through. Even like right now today, it's raining. Normally I wouldn't spend the money, but I'm spending no more. It's all the same. So every time I come through, it actually lessens how much I'm paying each time. So sometimes Corey thinks that I come through too much. So good morning, sunshine. That was sunshine. Right down there.
Oh, there it is.
Thank you, sir.
No problem.
So, by the way, Classy Chassis wanted me to present you with this coupon valid for one basic wash and go car wash. It's probably backwards. Is it? Let's see if it's backwards on the screen there. Oh, I guess I got to pull up here. This guy's waiting for me. So, Classy Chassis is now supporting this particular part of the tour. Awesome. So this is for Kern Dillard from Classy Chassis.
Excellent.
You can have it.
Well,
there you go.
Thank you. I'll be back.
And when you come back and you use that, you should go live in the group.
I will.
And like we're going live.
Awesome. I need to get one of those fancy things that holds my phone.
You don't have one?
No.
It's quite an investment. Oh, I gotta turn.
Yeah,
I gotta turn my wipers off. So, in a second here, you won't be able to hear us, but
we'll be aced out.
Yeah, but you'll be able to hear this. There's some really cool. You're gonna see. Well, you're not gonna see them. Cool lights and stuff. Hey, Sean. So we're going through Classy Chassis car wash. We're gonna come back because I want to talk to Kern more about this showing up thing and what he does. The 3 things that he does. You're gonna see.
Here we go.
Look at the cool lights. You can see it. Woo! We're like in Vegas. Woo! Woo!
It's a fun ride, isn't it? What'd you do with Karen? Well, I went through a car wash.
Went through a car wash.
It smells good.
It does, doesn't it?
It's got a nice. Oh man, you can't smell that on the Facebook.
You should. Do you know these guys? Have you met these guys?
Yes.
You should do something. I know you guys are a ways apart, but you should do something with together, some type of thing.
He's got other car washes too.
He does.
This isn't the only one. He's got one in.
Yeah, there's your cash cab. Ding, 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 ding.
There you go.
That's right, Angie. The cash cab. Angie Whitten, cash cab. Bing, bing, bing. Yeah, I think he's up to like 4 now.
Something like that. Got the self-serve one out just in Spanaway, right off the Spanaway loop.
Oh yeah, yeah. And then he's downtown Puyallup.
Right.
And here, and then Tacoma, University Place. He's got another one across the street. All right. Charlie can't hear us now. We're going through the car wash.
Way too much fun, man.
Kern Dillard. We're at Classy Chassis. We're almost done.
Gotta get dried off now. Dude, take a shower with Kieran.
Get clean with Kieran. Maybe Classy Chassis won't want me to name this portion. They should be up there watching us. We should be able to wave.
It'd be like watching a fish tank, wouldn't it? So I wondered why you were so clean lately.
I'm always clean.
Your cars are clean.
Ever since I got this unlimited membership at Classy Chassis, I'm always clean. People always ask me, they go, man, your car is always clean. How come? It's Classy Chassis, folks. All right, we're almost done. We're going to continue the interview with Kern Dillard. We're just waiting for the green light. Waiting for the green light. There we go. We got it.
Green means go.
And we're out of here. All right. Okay, so we're back on the whole thing. The agenda you have, the number one tip you had was showing up all the time.
Right.
So
Show up with an agenda.
Show up with an agenda. And your agenda was, number 1, you wanted to help somebody. You wanted to pour into them.
Right.
Number 2 was
meet somebody new.
Meet somebody new.
Somebody I don't know.
Is that easy to do in an Ignite You function?
It's pretty easy in Ignite You because we have new people all the time. And there's
so
a lot of people that you meet the second and third time and they're still new because you don't remember their name.
Yep. And what was the third thing?
The third thing is have something, get something. Get something out of it. Take something away.
Take something away. Which could be a piece of business, a new connection, a new relationship, a piece of information.
Or listen to somebody who's pouring into me.
Absolutely.
Somebody will say something and say, I got to take that and I'm going to use that.
Okay. Awesome.
There's another Classy Chassis right over there. They're all over the place.
They are everywhere. They're taking over. They're like Starbucks. They're just everywhere. So let's go back to the whole showing up thing because it's funny that the 3 people we've had in the car now have all said the exact same thing as far as their reason for their networking success. Number 1 was showing up. So again, they didn't know the questions or anything else. I just asked them what's going on. Everyone answers the same thing, and it's that showing up. So if you're not showing up, I'm going to guess if you're not showing up, you're probably not getting the results that you want. So let's talk about showing up and how the ebb and flow, you used that word before, the ebb and flow of the old coffee club and stuff. Let's talk about the ebb and flow of the Kern Dillard networking model. So, gosh, we've known each other for
10 years.
Yeah, close to 10 years.
Yeah.
So here's what I noticed about. So let's go back to the old coffee club days. Kern would show up, and in my mind, I think when he needed business. So when things were slow, Kern would show up, and then as he'd get business, he wouldn't show up as much, and then we wouldn't see him for a while. Then we'd see him again, and then we wouldn't see him again, and that kind of happened for quite a few years. And then there was some switch. And maybe it was when, I know Kern's always been a pretty good tracker of his numbers, but I have a gut feeling he really dialed it in the last few years. Because when he was doing the year 2015 and the numbers were around 3,500 or something, and then that's, again, I'm pretty sure is when you were kind of showing up on a part-time basis.
Right.
And then you started showing up more, and you started having more results, and then so I'm sure when you had the 2016 and you were at 20,000, you were pretty.
This is something.
Yeah, you were pretty darn regular.
Yeah.
But then, and I bet that was mostly on Fridays. And then I bet when you hit the 37,000 last year, I bet you decided to go to both. Is that accurate?
That's fairly accurate. I think it was time spent doing Tuesdays and Fridays and committing to be there. It took a while for that to start really paying off. It didn't happen right away. So I was there on Tuesdays and there on Fridays, and the only time I would miss was, something catastrophic would happen, or I didn't plan anything else on those times. But if something blew up at the business and I actually had to be there, that would be the time I would miss. But
so that's the next thing. Then you talked about it took a while to build that up. So you were coming on every Tuesday and every Friday, but you didn't have immediate results, right?
Right. It doesn't happen right away. It's continual. Just you keep doing it because it's the right thing to do, and you keep moving forward and eventually things start to happen. Now I'm getting people from the coffee club days calling me and saying, "Hey, I remembered you. I want to do business with you." But it's always showing up and always having the plan each time you come and being available.
So give me a nugget for people who, because there's a lot of people that start in any type of group, whether it's Ignite or anything else, and they really have this short-term disease, I call it, that they want those results so fast, and if they don't get them, if they're not retiring in 60 days, then they don't think it works. Give me a nugget. Give me something, a little bit of knowledge that we can drop on people that talks about the value of the long game. I'm going to stay in this thing long term. I'm not just going to give it a little bit of time. I'm going to give it a long period of time. Give me some knowledge we can give to those people that are watching.
Nothing really of value gets built all of a sudden. You can't put up a building in a day. You can't build a business in a day. Some of the traders and some of the leveraged things like highly leveraged stocks and options, you look at that and say, oh wow, they can trade and they can make it all in a day, but they can lose it all in a day. In the networking, it's a long game. It's a repetitive, it's a discipline, it's bringing something of value every time you come, and realizing that you are valuable and you have something to bring, and it's not just your business. I've seen a lot of people come to the Ignite U and they change businesses, and the value is the person, not just the business.
Right.
So we're not there just to make a transaction. Those are nice, and it's good to make a transaction, but it's really about staying in the game, staying with it and providing value for other people and being a resource to other people. Yeah,
that's huge. And so you and I have been networking together at our groups for probably at least 7 years, 7-8 years.
Yeah.
And so you're seeing stuff that just keeps coming back around.
Right.
So tell me this one, because I know you do a lot of different stuff. You have some great ideas, and you do a lot of different marketing things. Tell me about the ROI from your networking versus anything else that you do in advertising and marketing for your business. What do you see?
This has the best return on my investment. Dollar for dollar, we're a lot.
Is it like a close race, or is it like not even close?
It's not even close. The other direct marketing that I do, sometimes it doesn't pay, but I'm still in the game.
Right.
But this always pays. Long term, look at the numbers right now. We're at $37,000 last year. I didn't spend $3,700, so that's 100 to 1.
And for quite a while now, you've had a free membership, right?
Right.
So all you're paying for is to come over and have lunch.
Come over, have lunch,
or breakfast,
and buy somebody else lunch once in a while, or the main event.
Which almost isn't an expense, because you'd be having lunch anyway.
I'm eating anyway, right?
Right.
But don't tell my tax.
Yeah.
It does say ignite you on the tax receipt.
You're using me for tax purposes.
Nicole, yeah.
I love it. So your ROI by far doesn't even compare to anything else you're doing. So
that's right.
So what you're saying is, you're going to be far better off with Ignite You growing, even doubling where we are now, so we can have another day to attend, because that's more people for you to connect with.
Yes.
So rather than having to look for the next, you're always going to keep your eye out for a good marketing piece that can bring you something.
Right.
But it's always that unknown. You never know exactly what it's going to be. With your networking at this point, you know darn good and well what it's bringing, and you know if you could put more into it.
That, I will.
Yeah.
And if you'll notice lately, I did multiply that by 2. I am lately bringing my sister in on Tuesday. I said, come to work for me on Tuesdays, and by the way, I'm buying you lunch. So she's helped me out with the marketing, but this is the marketing. She's coming to Ignite You, and so we've effectively doubled our presence at Ignite You. So
smart.
Next year,
so
we may do better than 37,000.
So you're still coming on Tuesdays, right?
Yes.
And then so you brought your sister so she can be at another table and market to other people and connect with them.
Right.
Because people are going to connect with her on a different level than they connect with you.
She's a whole lot.
They may not like you.
They may not like me at all, but she's a whole lot easier to talk to. She's got more to say than I do, too.
And you'll find that when you meet her, you can tell that she's obviously the much, 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 much younger sister of Kern Dillard.
Yes.
What is she, like 40 years younger?
Something like that, yeah.
And what's her name?
Cami.
Cami. C-A-M-I.
C-A-M-I.
So when you see her there, she's just a wonderful person. She's come to a lot of our events and connected, and we love having her. So the ROI is way better. There's Big Jake. Hey Jake, we're just talking with Kern Dillard about ROI of his networking. So let me ask this: where else do you network?
I do put the word out at my church, and for years I did not network at church, or I didn't talk about my business, but I've joined a businessmen's group at my church, so that's been a good, not necessarily referrals, but good food for me.
Okay.
Other networking I've done in the past, I've done other groups, and currently this is it.
So right now, it's all your eggs are in the Ignite You basket.
All my eggs in Ignite You for networking.
And so the best thing we can do is grow it even more. So so our growth, a couple years ago, we ended the year at 100 members, and then we put in our referral program. That year we ended at 350. Wow. And then this last year we ended at 415. And this year we'd like to exceed that 500 mark. We have some things in play that hopefully will exceed that. But right. I look at it and I go, 3-4 years down the road, I'd sure love us to be around 800, 900, because I see that number of 37,000 that you had for last year, and I think, okay, if we were double the size, does that double your revenue, right? Hopefully.
Hopefully. I'll say.
I'd like to be able to see you at lunch
I'll
on a
claim that.
Wednesday. Yeah.
I'll say yeah.
What can you tell people to do once they get in the room? Last week, I know Angie Witten was talking about finding ways to be memorable, because people a lot of times, and you'll probably know this, they'll blend into the crowd. They don't do anything that gets people to remember who they are, and that's really a key to networking too. Is you don't have to do anything crazy or anything, but you obviously want people to remember you. So when people are saying, "Hey, where should I get my car fixed?" You want them saying, "Kern's Complete Automotive." What are some things that people can do so they are memorable when they're actually in our room?
For my personality,
No nudity.
well, I kind of keep my clothes on. I try to anyway. Most
Yeah.
of the time. But be yourself, but also exaggerate yourself a little bit. For me, it's comfortable just to be by myself in the corner watching. And
You're a shy guy, aren't you?
Yes, it's by nature, and I've had to step out and say, that's not good for my business, it's not good for me, it's not good for anybody for me to be shy in the corner. So I've got to step out and step in to kind of put it on and become more outgoing.
So you have to create a little bit of different persona. You got to step out of that shy game.
That's me.
Okay.
Because of my personality and the way God made me, I have to work at it. There's other people, it comes natural.
Gotcha.
Here's our buddies at Lakewood Transmission.
So we're flipping a Yui, and I came down here for a reason. So we are at Lakewood Transmission, and I don't see Jim and Karen's truck here, but we're just going to flip a Yui. But we're now in the parking lot of Lakewood Transmission. So I wanted to ask you this: talk to me about competition within Ignite U. I know that we have McCabe's Automotive, Ricky McCabe, love that guy. Right behind us, we got Lakewood Transmission, Jim and Karen, awesome people. We got yourself, we got Pete Bristow. So talk to me about, and you did 37,000 last year, and I know Margison's here at Lakewood Transmission, and their first year did over 30,000. Talk to me about how you see competition, or is it competition? But if there's someone else in Ignite U that's in the same business as you are, what's the deal with that? Because we're not an industry exclusive group.
Right, and that's one of the reasons that attracted me to the group, is it's not industry exclusive. Some other groups you go to that are industry exclusive, and you may not be able to refer that one car guy that's in that group, or the one financial planner that's in that group, because they rub you wrong, or you know something about them, or you're not comfortable making referrals to that group. You don't want to refer someone because they're the only one, because they might be a butthead, and you're locked into it by your contract with that group. There's some big international groups that are that way, and I didn't feel comfortable in that group. Getting into one with competition, not necessarily competition, we work together. We call each other when we have parts issues or we have staffing issues. We talk to each other. We're not, out to crush each other. So we build each other up. You've got options. Typically in my business, we have about a 5-mile circle of influence. Yeah, so geographically, you guys aren't all in the same area. We are location based. Okay. So that is important for a lot of folks. That you don't want to drive 25 miles to a car guy. I do have a few customers, family and friends that will do that, but it's the exception. It's the rule is we break all the rules. So, but Jim and Karen are awesome folks. I love to see them taking that business and turning it around. It was not the best place to take your car. Is them doing good for you? Yes. Tell me how. They raise the bar. They raise the level. They bring they bring themselves. They're great people in business, but they're great. How do they raise the bar?
Do you guys share marketing ideas? Do you share
a little bit? Yeah,
little bit.
we talk. He does a couple marketing things that I don't do, and I've shared a few things that I do with him, and things that can raise us both in the industry. We're both good quality places. We offer warranties on all that we do, and that's the kind of thing that you want to promote. You don't want somebody who's going to rip somebody off and then turn and burn. Burn this one and then take them for everything they got. We're looking at relationships in business as well with our clients. And
so you talked about if you were in another group where it was industry exclusive and you didn't want to have to refer to someone because they were the only one in that industry because maybe they didn't do good work or maybe just didn't get along with them personally. So we have a number of car guys, of automotive shops in Ignite U. So let me ask you this. Is there anybody that you wouldn't, any other car guy, car company, car shop in Ignite U that you wouldn't refer to? Or actually, maybe here's the better question. Is there anybody, any one of those shops in Ignite U that you wouldn't feel comfortable personally taking your own automobile to and knowing that it was going to get serviced right?
Short answer, no.
I think
I like each one of those that are in our group right now. There's no problem with any one of them.
And I think they're all awesome.
Yeah, excellent businesses, excellent people, and they'll stand behind what they do.
Nice. So looks like we got about another 3 minutes till we're back to the casino. These always go a little bit longer than I think I'm going to go. I'm almost thinking I'm going to wrap up, and then you get talking, and it's just like I can't pull back in because there's so much good stuff.
we got more, right?
So your big things was showing up a lot, showing up very consistently, very regularly. Yeah. Creating a different persona for yourself a little bit so you're memorable. So in your case, you are a shy guy by nature, and so you have to come out of your shell and do some different things.
Right.
You have an agenda, which to some people they're going, agenda, that doesn't sound good. I know exactly when you said that word.
That was a memorable word, wasn't it?
It was. To me it was. Maybe we'll come up with a different word for agenda. But you have goals for when you show up is you're going to pour into somebody else. You're going to have someone else pour into you. You're going to be able to receive that.
Right. And
you're going to make a connection with someone new that you haven't met before. Those three things.
Yes.
Okay. And, we get more time because we're at a stoplight.
There we go.
That is so good, so rich. How about a brand new person? Anything in particular for a brand spanking new person? Someone just signed up in the last couple weeks. What do you recommend for them to do? So what's some things? I mean, is it just a matter of just show up as often as you can and
really take it in and be yourself. Take in what's going on. Maybe you don't have. Just being there is something, and you bring value just by showing up, just by being there. You bring value to the rest of the people that are in the group, and we feed from that, and we help. We can provide the energy, but also, you got to know you're valuable,
right?
And when you're not there, you're missed.
Yeah, people know it. Definitely don't they?
Right.
Okay, let me ask you this one before we pull into the parking lot. You've been through a boot camp, Ignite U boot camp?
Yes, sir.
Tell me about your experience and if you would recommend that to other members of the group.
Boot camp is, Kieran has a marketing mind on him, and he pours that into you. So if you think that you know everything, or you can't see all sides of what you're doing, Kieran has an eye for marketing and networking like none other. I haven't met anybody that does it as well as he does, and with the heart to give to somebody else like he does. In the boot camp setting, it's small enough and intimate enough that you can communicate that, and he gives you one or two things to take away to give you a better success rate in networking specifically, but also for your business.
What were some things, I don't know if you remember any special takeaways from boot camp for yourself? Was there anything that you remembered?
One of them was to come out and show up in kind of, instead of being so laid back, just show up and be a part of what's going on. Step into it a little bit more.
How long ago did you do boot camp? I'm backing up here, by the way, in case you couldn't tell.
I think it was number 2 or 3.
So it was like last summer, wasn't it?
Last summer, yeah.
No wonder you hit that $37,000 mark, man. Boot camp, $37,000.
There's the clue. Boot camp.
Yeah, when I say that, you're supposed to go boot camp, man. It's the best thing ever.
Yeah, well,
I made all my money because boot camp.
Yeah.
Well, folks, we are back here at the casino. We're going to run in. It is 10:36, so we're going to start the meeting here. Not too long, but wanted you to be able to spend some time with this guy because he's absolutely amazing. We get a chance. Whenever I have an idea that I want to run by someone, a lot of times I'll stop by Kern's shop and I'll walk in and I'll just say, hey, I got an idea. Can I run it past you? And we'll pour a cup of coffee. We'll go back and sit at his desk.
Later.
Yeah, and he's always busy. He's got stuff going on. And he always makes time for me. He always says, come on back. And I've always thought that was pretty cool. And I don't know if I've ever told Kern about that I knew that exactly what was going on was I knew he was busy. I knew he had a lot of stuff going on. And he always has made time for me. And I think that's the cool part about this networking is I know when you get to know him, he'll always make time for you as well. And if you're looking for some marketing ideas, this guy has 30 million things going through his mind at any one time.
And hey, you think a lot the same way.
Yeah, that's why we'll go hang out and we run these ideas past and we're like, oh my gosh. And so you got to come and see him. So also if you're new or if you haven't met Kern in a meeting, you got to get in here. You got to sit at the table. Here's what Kern's going to do too. He's going to pour into you. He's going to allow you to pour into him. But he's also going to connect you with other people in the room. So he's going to walk you around and make sure there's a couple other people that you may not have known yet. He's a great connector. But you got to meet this guy. He's been with us for, it's got to be at least 8 years now. And so the people that we know, he knows. He's getting business that has come back from 8 years ago. That he's getting a fleet. We were just talking about that. So he understands the value of networking. He understands the value of long-term networking. And one of the big things I wanted everyone to hear was that ROI. It wasn't even a close race. ROI for Kern at Kern's Complete Automotive with networking is hands down better than anything he's ever done. And so
networking with Ignite You specifically. There you go.
That's how we wrap it up right there.
That's how we roll.
The ROI, because you have
the mic.
Because you have done networking with other groups and haven't had the same ROI.
That's correct.
Wow, networking with Ignite You, ROI, better than anything he's ever done. We might share that nugget when we get back into the room today. So, hey everyone, you guys have a great day. Hopefully, we'll see you in here in a few minutes. And next week, Jim and Karen Margison will be in the car next week, so maybe we'll drive them out to your shop and drive around the parking lot. So you guys have a great day, everybody. Love you, Angie Guy, and we will see you guys soon. Have a great day, everybody.